Hey. Hey, 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 it's Laura J. Namaste with you today. Yes, I edit the video and share it to a few places. If you would, I'd appreciate you doing the same. It is true, because if you do, then others will see me and what I have to say, which I will say from the mystic winter wonderland event I was at. Therefore, before the holy day, say it's the way we can be live. Join me live in the comments so I can hear you and what you have to say. But keep it PG, or at least parentally guided, so that we can try to be the responsible parents to ourselves and selves simultaneously. It is what we must be if we are to be ourselves fully. The comments, and then please know if you are willing to go where we are going next week, then you will weave stronger inner webs. That's what I trust and say we must do as we become stronger and do what we must do. I hope that you will do what I am doing right now, which is share this post. What you know the most is that you are loved, it's true. I hope you won't ghost yourself with the noses that would host off you because you are weaker and you believe you are not what you could be or what you actually are, which is enough. Oh, I trust. My cat is meowing and I say, it is true that we must play if we are willing to be our brazen self. Believe it's true. On that sign I said something I want you to hear. Oh, Empowerment is about calling our power back to the present. Transform your self-image to create a year you feel blessed to get to live in 2023. That was what I said to the ones who came to the Winter Wonderland and Christmas Fair at Soul's Path over the days before the Christmas season, which Janine created these, who was one of the vendors, and you can actually find her at Woodlawn, which is a chapter in Father Goose by my boyfriend, Jordy Lishman's dad, William Lishman, who was a magical man that passed away right before the 2018 insanity of all of that which we are awakening from began. And so it is really sweet to be able to hear about his story and have the chapter on Woodlawn where Jordy has so many cool things, including a second Airbnb that he is just working on bringing into working order for those who wish to stay on the lands that you can read of from his clan, the Lishmans, who come from Englishmen. And I am super excited to actually be working on the narration of said book, because even if you just listen to the poem at the very beginning, Goose Sendoff by Owen Neal, you will see how poignantly he has left keys for us to follow. It's insanity until we see with the inner eyes, to realize with the intuition that the soul hired ahead of time to guide us to see how we have each been drawn together through the interconnection of the web, which is what we are weaving stronger within our own selves, the CELLS of the one that we hyphenate with either E for energy of faith or fear. What is fear? But false evidence appearing real. What is evidence? But emotion, energy and motion that we did something with, either push it down or let it go. Push it down or let it go. I got a cat over there, yo. Others may not like it, and yet I think my papa does, even though he may not say it. I know others would not maybe agree, but here's what I gotta say. The Bill Lishman said, William Lishman said, preparation, patient. Owen Neal actually said this in a poem William Lishman quoted. So these are pictures of him actually flying with the birds that him and Jordy raised, and Aaron and Carmen and Paula, his mom, Jordy's mom, Bill's wife. So anyway, this is so significant. I would like to sing it, and yet I feel like I'm just going to bring it down a notch and say, after 2 lines, this is what I want to read in relation to where we are today. Preparation, patient, strong, born from the egg with what they need. Each bird follows its primal plan. 10,000 years could not impede. We came once with reckless sway and cut across the natural flow. But now repentance pricks us on as we repair the status quo. We set the wild geese wild once more. We hatch, imprint, and train the flock. We run, then fly, again and again, until we share the same bloodstock. Man and bird are strangely one, yet each cannot know the other. Along the route soon remembered well, the wild and tame are somehow brother. The goal is fixed in the mind as one. All eyes peel the horizon away. It's time to soar, where long ago all nature held its solemn sway. Motion liquid below autumn clouds, a man-bird combination flies. Like an ancient myth we integrate and put sweet mystery in our eyes. A wrong is righted heroically, a beauty we have never known. Gives hope our world, at least in part, will reap the harvest we have modestly sown. The voice of ancient gossamer rises again its ancient way. In the quiet mystery of newborn wings, they know again what the north winds say. For the north winds are where freedom ring and reign. It's time for us to see the terrain we commonly walk on is our common ground, and if we are willing to be successful, we'll shift the BS we've allowed to divide us to believe we're talking about something else than what we are, which is love in the end, always in different packages. What do you say about perspective? Oh, your response to any situation depends on your perspective. When ignorant, your vision and choices are limited, whereas an eagle's view allows you to survey the bigger picture and reveals many options. Wisdom suggests you consider your current point of view and ask whether the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of your life are congruent. Raise your level of conscious awareness and re-examine everything at a higher level. You will access fresh creativity and new opportunities. Another way forward will reveal itself to you. Affirmation I look for a higher perspective. These are the Diane Cooper wisdom cards. That's what the box looks like, and if you take it off of the top, you will get the part that sticks out and supports itself to stand up as we must do, as the man and woman here who can and came to do the same. We must use the words they used to divide us and conquer us. Be what we used to connect, remembering that love was at the foundation in the end. Even if we can't remember it, leadership is what we must actually tune into. It's 8:42 right now. Inspirational leaders command loyalty, clarity, integrity, and courage are attractive. In addition, such people have developed personal understanding and mastery that never coerce but empower others to realize their potential. Wisdom suggests you examine your leadership qualities now. Trust your own wisdom and judgment. Be clear about where you are going. Know that whatever your position, you can profoundly influence others to aspire to greater goals. Watch the magnetic effect when you take the helm with charisma and confidence. Affirmation I lead with wisdom for the greater good. Lie and also see. The one with wings can appreciate the decisions that the caterpillar has to make as they sacrifice the life they had before. They became the one with wings to fly away. Wise decision. Greater than the few. They benefit people as well as organizations. Such choices often require great character and strength, and they define you. When you take decisions, you know it's real self, so that everyone evaluate options to intuition decisively and understanding. Affirmations, I make decisions within integrity, because intuition's what we follow. the actions and work with them. This is not the time to react blindly towards the situation or person, but rather to attune with your wise center and balance, silent, knowing with reason. Intuition comes from the heart, not the head, and is the hidden ingredient that will transform a current challenge or situation to positive advantage. Find stillness and for a few moments put aside the straitjacket of reason. Listen for a message that transforms your understanding. Affirmation is I trust my intuition. If I didn't, I couldn't do what I am doing now. Clearly, I'm not thinking at all. I'm getting out of the way for growth in the now, which is how favorable in the right conditions and flawlessly reaches for the light. There are also natural limits. For example, a healthy tree does not exceed the strength of its trunk. In business and personal development, growth occurs in many ways. And just like nature is subject to seasons, expansion for the sake of it is not always worthwhile, and personal development not always quantifiable. Wisdom prompts you to examine the nature of development that you desire. Check that it is aligned with your highest goals and nurture yourself through the process. Affirmation: I grow with wisdom. Success comes with relaxation and creativity at the foundation, with emotions behind well-being and health. If we are honest, then we'll see how silence is the key, and when we see that it is also almost listen, silent is listen. Silence is how the T is made into a CE, which is the way the creativity and acceptance of the clarity we have to be ourselves and be fair, to say no one's been us before, so how would they know our purpose? How possibly could they conserve the resources we have access to with our team, time, energy, effort, attention, and money? All the team players we are creating our lives with, so we must know the agendas that are at play on the outside and within. So today, let's create a win-win. Tim Nielsen, you'll be thrilled to see it's in here. New beginnings, which is what we're called to do. Katya Palmieri and Peter Palmieri too. Discernment is what I say to you as we choose the action to follow. I believe that Joseph McDonald and your Loving Society project is a risk, but isn't everything. It's about power. John Power, I say to you, my friend, you are so much more than you know, as we all are. I simply say it because his name is the way that we communicate the truth as we see and know it to be. The balance is where we must learn to trust The fact meditation is how we allow the mediation of inner conflicts to be resolved by actually addressing the problems with a positivity perspective, which is not to sugarcoat shit, because if we don't get it out, shit's still under the sugar, but sugar is shit. So maybe integrity is where we must get back to. Presence is the key, so we can be charming. It's true. Wink and blink and think again about the opportunity in front of ye, with me here to say that in 1 week from today we will be weaving stronger in our webs, which means self-worth, esteem, belief, and security, because when we feel secure within, we can conserve our resources and know the business at hand is the wealth of health, and how the death cult would like to profit off men and women who allowed themselves to be converted into a status, whether medically or legally. I say it's time for self-awareness. Please do know that if you have participated in the show that we're seeing right now, expect a consequence for your choice to play the way you did, and also know that charisma is the name of the way. We've charmed before. Yeah, we want to actually go to the core, which is the heart, where the scorched earth is. Around the hearth of the heart, which is the key to the inner earth. That's where gratitude we see to be the key that we use to climb the stairway, the staircase of creativity, which is how we use the imagination, intuition. It is true, the tuition that we paid outside of us to indoctrinate us to believe the BS of a cult. The cult you are of belief systems is the way that we become ambitious about somebody else's BS. And then our relationships sometimes no longer experience harmony. If you're anything like me, I've got compassion for ye, compounded passion. It is true, when we believe our own BS, sometimes we deceive ourselves. Authenticity is how we say, hey, shit, I screwed up, I'm sorry, I'd do it differently if I could, but I can't, so I say, hey, can we just support one another as we call back the parts of ourselves we lost in the not now moments of the past, and become the inspiration that lasts by telling a story with cards and goals that we set for ourselves as we end year 2022 with flexibility, because we stretched ourselves to become ourselves and detach from what we no longer need to hold on. Though discipline is a way that we can do it all more profitably for ourselves, not profit with an F, but with a PH. Because if we say what we will be and do at the end of the day, we'll try harder for it, because we then stake our reputation on it, and wisdom would advise you not to leak the contents of your creativity on those who are not necessarily safe to trust with your baby creativity. Creatively, commitment to yourself is to simply go after that which you would like to share with someone later, and then do it one by one behind closed doors. They pull the curtain to set up the stage, because if you let the ones watching see it all set up, then they'll say, hey, you're not worth that much. I would question how this happened, with self-worth being the last card that I have to pull. But I know that we are fully supported. It's why you get called when you do, Jesse Robillard. It is true. You are loved and fully supported, and everyone who knows you or others who could use a little love, please know that when we fully commit to the sacred sojourn of now, which is the book that took 5 years for me to write in a month and then edit in a month more, and this is how you can get more information if you wish to. Balboa Press is who I published through, fully committed. The Sacred Sojourn of Now by Laura J. The Barbecue Business. We fry the evil, and why I try to tell the story that's unfurling now. Decisions I should have chose wiser, because ones like me are called a whistleblower and often get taken out. But without a doubt, I've got to trust that I'm fully supported, and the ones who have been tasked to take me out love my charisma and expect me to help them come out of the place we've been all led to. And with that, I want to say to you, I'm going to play a song that I'd love for you to sing along to. It is true. What song do you think it is? This was the song I heard pulling a freedom microphone box and speaker set, because Samantha was occupied dealing with someone who tried to take the mic, and so instead I was given the lead to take away the wagon. And so I heard this first while I pulled that wagon, and I want to play it for you now. I'd like to actually share my screen if I can.
Number one, do not set goals. Let me just ask you something. When's the last time you set a New Year's resolution or set a goal and it came true?
That is bad advice, Dean, I would say. Well, okay, so let me show you the screen where I am going to share a song. I'm going to sing it for you as we go through. Stand Up by Cynthia Arrivo. And to see how it is paired with Harriet Tubman.
Come on back, Facebook. Whoa, easy now. I'm gonna be free with that.
I've been walking
with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.
You have made it 100 miles to freedom.
Would you like to pick a new name?
New title, baby.
Mark your freedom.
That actually marks your new enslavement.
Before the sun begins to shine, gonna start moving towards that separating line
Within our minds.
I'm wading through muddy waters. You know I gotta make up mine.
Ooh.
And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad.
And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face myself alone.
No, we're not.
And I just might fail, but I know I'm trying. Just as stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. We're gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on.
I feel the free domain, baby. To prepare a place for you, I go. Walking my talk to prepare a place for you. To prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
I don't like that.
Adele's I Drink Wine comes next. The last time I played that one live, I got blocked. So we're not gonna do that one. I wonder why no one's commented, but what I do know is it's been 34 minutes-ish of me rifting, or 33 if you count that I was a minute late for the meeting that I only said I was going to do about an hour ago when I decided to. You know, I had a business reading done more than 10 years ago when I lived in England by a fabulous man out of the US that my ex had worked with, who designed his logo and did the business strategy for him. And it was hugely successful for him. And for me, I got Laura Hamilton in authentic authorship. And I was like, WTF is that? I didn't know what that was. Inauthentic authorship, not inauthentic authorship, but actually standing in being authentic in our authorship of our own lives. That was what the message came through as, and I was like, what the fuck do I do with that? It's pretty big, you know, but that's because we got to develop some self-worth at the foundation, some self-esteem, belief, and security, which is what we're going to be doing every Monday in January. Your reputation is on the line. So is mine. All of ours is, all the time. We have to decide what line we are going to actually walk. Because of the emotions we either squawk about or we no longer doubt because we see the opportunity to move the emotions that would previously have daunted our reputation. So the cards tell a story of their own. And I think in the new year, I am maybe likely to be expectancy, doing more of these. Charisma, goals, inspiration, support, authenticity, compassion, harmony, relationship, self-worth at the bottom, and creativity, which are three of the main ingredients of a delicious pot pie of me, oh my, and energetically conservation, purpose, and fairness, oh, detachment, yo, ambition, so commitment and emotions plus creativity lead to success. Discernment is when we actually must know whether it's a win-win to begin. The agenda matters, and if you didn't know about event 201, October 19th, 2019, you can go on to the Johns Hopkins Center for Disease Control and find it. I mentioned it in my book, which I wrote about fully committed because I saw that I was so fully committed. I would have been the martyr if I'd had stayed in the scared side of the pattern. But fortunately, I did not have to do that because I stepped in through the sacred side because I needed my wits about me, so had to call myself back present. Don't you see how the present moment is the only moment we ever get? And so it's time for us to do what only we can trust ourselves to do, which is to kiss our ass goodbye. Ass was the last name, the only legal name that we have. Doesn't matter which tribe we come from. Yes, there's wealth in that. Our history is our story instead. So goals is to actually hold the legacy that we leave because the charisma we had in the moment called others present too, which is what I hope to do in the month of January. It's a risk, but it all is, and so I'd still like to invite you to come rift with me as we become the ones that we've been waiting for. If you would like to join me, I'd love it. Your presence is requested. Prepare to be. Next week here you can sign up. It will be by donation, and I've even got my Patreon account set up if you would like to donate to sponsor me to do more of these creative things. Relaxation will allow me to be more creative. Conservation of energy. Purpose comes in, as does detachment and ambition. So expectancy is how we stand and birth the new orderly world that we have a chance now to unfold as we hold our dreams close to our hearts. I send you love for now. It won't be my last video of the year. Jordy is coming on the 29th, and I'm so excited. He is going to get to meet my mom and some of her family who are there at her and Steve's new place. So that's very exciting. And he is the man I am so grateful to have got to connect and bond with this year, and know that I want to do it next year too. So yay. And bringing family together and resolving my own shit as to why there are rifts in relationships. I say at 9/11, which is an emergency number. So if I'm speaking this and it's resonating and the screen is shifting and the lighting and all of this is shifting for you, please know that I'm doing the deep inner work, and there are lots of tears and insecurities that arise behind the surface. So as much as I come in front of you and seem maybe put together, or whatever the image you have of me is, because all you get to see is when I have energy to share, which is from the overflow of joy, which comes from being grateful and present and creative and free to be. You know, those liberties, not everyone is able to fully access where they are creatively, survivally. You know, if we're focused down, we aren't focused up. So let's shift our view and straighten our spine so that we can realign with the now and actually somehow bring ourselves back into greater balance. So the exciting thing is I'm going to bring in chakras. I'm going to bring in energy centers. I'm going to bring in intuition. I am going to give you the best that I have spent thousands of dollars. Thousands, like probably, yeah, more than what I would like to share publicly. But if you include a university degree, like my English degree has come in handy. Now I narrate books, write books, edit videos. Like I do a lot of things where that English degree actually did really come in handy. And the critical thinking component of it, the Dr. David Clark's class was about, with teachings of not just Nietzsche at the end, which was, oh no, that was Dr. Holland's class, which was absolutely a nightmare. Oh my Lord, that was so disheartening to go and be more confused every time. It's like, WTF are these theories all about? And that is where I should have got the foreshadowing for what I went through in 2019, when all of my theories, like the special practice and peaceful inner warriors united framework, which wasn't yet untied from the matrix and was like, that drew me into it. Oh my God. I've been through a lot to be able to come here and be like, yo, got a lot of scorched earth around this heart of mine, and those you would have found closer to me if I hadn't burned those who got too close because I was trying to protect myself because I didn't feel safe. And now it's like, all right, how do you build back that? Like I'm using an analogy. I didn't burn anyone. I didn't harm anyone. I didn't harm myself. And yet I completely destroyed the life that I had before that event and then had to recover from that. And so that rebuilding phase and then going through more that took me lower, and then also lost the support system I had before. So then had to do it for myself, you know, had to rebuild it, had to find the structures in the people that were willing to actually genuinely support and love me for me, you know, for their own reasons, yes, too. But ultimately, like, I'm so grateful. And Papa has been a huge proponent for all of that. So to the man who is the reason TV is in the background and I don't care because I've been away for a few days. So I'm just sticking close to just kind of energetically be present and in view, but not necessarily doing the same thing since our interests are widely different. But ultimately, our connecting ground is common because we love each other, and I look out for him, he looks out for me, and together we make life more enjoyable for each other for as long as what we have in the 5 years while I've been here, and the 35 I've been on this earth, where he and my grandmother were my best friends the whole time. You know, it's just like crazy shit happens in life sometimes because the universe knows that it's not nice to push us out of our comfort zone. And yet that's the only way that we will actually own the throne of our own inner kingdom. So that's what I am looking forward to, being able to guide those who wish to be part of the Strengthening Stronger Inner Webs, or Weaving Stronger Inner Webs course that I will be starting January 2nd at 8:30 p.m. Then it will be the 9th, 16th, which is Martin Luther King Day. I will mention that. And I do have his book, which I will find and use somehow because it is significant. And then January 23rd and 30th at 8:30 p.m. I have a podcast idea as well, but I do not believe it is time yet to weave that one. So we'll leave it till next month and simply say there will also be the album 23 opportunities. And if you sign up at ljeh.ca, which is my website, you can see blogs that I write, and you can also receive the emails that people are not actually getting publicly unless you're signed up, because ultimately there are some things that I don't share publicly, but I will privately with those that subscribe to me and actually show that you are reading what I'm sharing. And if you want to be a Patreon supporter who is actually helping me, whether it's $5.55 a month or $222.22 per month, or any of multiple digits in between multiple repeating digits for the patterns that maybe you like best. And if your number is not there and you want a certain number that matches, then by all means do reach out and let me know what you would like to do, and I can certainly create an option that reflects that. But ultimately, the ask is simply to help me be able to continue to come to you, as I haven't charged for what I've been doing for any of the pandemic, really. And before that too, I was largely not charging for what I was doing either, because I really just felt like warriors needed to be able to recognize one another for one, and also be strong. Because I haven't believed in the banking system, and I did believe that the banking system was going to fall given the lack of backing fiat currency has, which is what our current system is, and yet it has not collapsed each of the times that it was prophesized that it would, to make the Chicken Littles or the hens that were calling out the sky is falling to people that said the sky didn't fall this time or the last one or any of the other ones, and you need to recant all of it because you were totally wrong. And it's just like, well, what if it just hasn't happened yet? Like, unfortunately, the point is the shit's going to go down eventually, and we need to be strong on the inside. So that's what this course is about. And it's also part of the Album 23 experience for artists that want to be part of a music project, which will be announced, or the playlist will be launched. Hopefully, the intention is, I say hopefully not because it's not possible, but because we're putting together the experience as we go. But July 2023, on the 22nd, will be the 3-year anniversary of Album 22 plus Album 22 plus, which is why we're likely to launch it that day too, but actually do it only with music of those who have went through it, in terms of the Weaving Stronger Interwebs experience in January that I'm then going to automate. So then it'll be on an evergreen system. So when you sign up and then you opt into the process, then you'll receive the emails daily in a scheduled way, which is just an easy way for entrepreneurs to make sure you get your emails without having to do it themselves personally. But it's literally set up into a sequence. So when you sign up, you get the first email, and then you schedule how long, or I schedule how long it is until you get the next one. And then I do that for the rest of the emails that are in that sequence. And that's how an auto responder works. If you weren't aware of that, if you're an entrepreneur and you weren't aware of that, you should likely look into that further as a way for you to actually give people an opportunity to see who you are, what you do, what problem do you solve, what is the solution you are offering, and how are the people that you are offering it to going to leave better for them having interacted with you or exchanged some of their time, energy, effort, attention, and money with you for some purpose. So I hope these messages are useful. Once again, if you like these leaf earrings made out of, I believe, leather, with a really cool design on them as well, then please let me know, and I can leave Janine's contact information. I'm very grateful to her for that donation or that gift for Christmas and the generosity of spirit that that represented. And I am so grateful for all of the fantastic people who are just showing how beautiful this world is. So I am grateful for how much love there is still in this world. And I will leave you with a message that my dear friend Aaliyah that I first met at Soulshine and now I'm getting to see at Woodlawn and Ajax more often now. And she said, even if you can't feel it, you've got to trust that love is there, that love is present, that love is at the foundation somewhere. It's just maybe hidden. It's covered by some false emotion appearing real, or the veils of evil, which are energy veils over top of the truth. But however it goes, love is there at the foundation. So there. I hope that that message, that share helps you in the way that it helped me. And I very much look forward to the next opportunity we have to come together live, if not before the end of the year, which I suspect there will be an opportunity for it. Papa, if you're leaving, can you turn off the TV? When you leave the room, turn off the TV.
You're like,
ah, Lord. Noise boxes. It's all right if you're watching them, but if you're not watching them, why leave the noise on other than to just have a distraction is the point. Well, I'm live. So are you going to say hi to the people, Papa? I said, are you going to say hi to the people?
no.
No. What was it like without me for 5 days, Papa?
What?
I said, what was it like without me for 5 days?
Thank you.
I said, what was it like without me for 5 days?
Oh, very long.
Very lonely, Papa. Brutal honesty for you, I suppose. He wasn't lonely at all. He had lots of visitors with the rest of the family. But anyway, that's fun. There's Merry Christmas from Papa and I, and the noise box, which is not present, but is in our moment because some like it who are loved by others who don't, and there is a negotiation. He just wobbled and caught himself. Those ab muscles are still in working order, which is excellent. So, yeah, we have to know that love is at the foundation. Love is present, love is there. And then sometimes we just have to share what is truthful for us, because if we don't acknowledge it in the moment when it's just like, oh, you're close enough to be able to turn back and do something about that which you shouldn't have forgot how to do. Right? My grandma used to always get so upset when we'd leave the TV on. But anyway. It's just patterns and it's fun, and grandma is missed, even though I don't talk about it often or talk about her specifically, or haven't in the years since she has passed in 2020. So the two, but it's one of the last messages of this year. And what I know is that I am grateful for it all. And I'll then close with the message. Empowerment is about calling our power back to the present. Transform your self-image to create a year you feel blessed to get to live in 2023. And for inspiring content, you can go to my website, ljeh.ca. Laura J. Namaste. Namago for today.